Sometimes the best adventures are not far from your own backyard, so they're easy to reach and explore and learn more about the places we prize in the great outdoors. Hi there, Grant McComey here, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. And this week we don't travel very far from our own backyards, just 30 minutes from downtown Portland to explore a unique wilderness-like setting. Join me as we explore Oxbow Regional Park along the Sandy River.
Oxbow Park is one of the richest places in the entire metro region, where we can walk around 600-year-old trees, these wonderful salmon that return every year. So there's life on every scale here. It's such a wonderful place to spend time.
It's hard to believe that a wilderness-like setting can be found only a stone's throw from Portland, but it's true. In fact, you could say Metro's Oxbow Regional Park is right in Portland's backyard, and it is so special.
Oxbow is an old-growth forest. That means we have trees here that are hundreds and hundreds of years old, that have been here before the city of Portland was even imagined. I think that's really special.
This trail does go along the river, and it follows the banks, and then it pops out in the campground and gives a really nice view of this spawning area down below.
Dan Daly is the Oxbow Park naturalist.
So the ancient forest is one of the most scenic parts of the park.
And a big believer that the park's 1,200 forested acres offer plenty of elbow room and key features with something for everyone.
Beautiful hiking trails here that will take you through an ancient forest or along the banks of the river. There's camping year-round. We've also got fishing for salmon fishermen. Then there's also recreational opportunities with photography, naturalist skills like tracking. People come out for classes.
The gills are not all the same length. The gills are crowded. These are all words that you'll find in your book.
It's a class in the parkland where folks are learning about wild mushrooms.
Very nice Boletus celeri, real bright red.
Gary Sloan is the teacher and a member of a volunteer army that provide hands-on education about the great outdoors.
A drop of water comes along and puffs it, and perfect conditions for dispersing spores. And did you see it? Right there. That's what happens. I really like to have people understand what a forest like this is. How does it all work together? Why is it important to keep and protect?
Field classes like this are offered year-round, and they're so easy, anyone can try.
Hygrophilopsis, the fall shenroll. It'll always have a fairly narrow stem and thin, kind of razor-like gills rather than those thick, blunt ones. Thank you.
The park is a natural for hikers who'd like to explore the Sandy River Gorge for surprises like these. Ancient trees slowly revealing themselves one winter storm at a time.
These stumps have been excavated by the high water events of the wintertime. As the channel of the Sandy River bounces between valley walls, it undercuts the banks and digs out the sand and leaves these ghostly looking stumps standing straight up and down. They're at least 230 years old.
And then there are the spawning salmon against a backdrop of dazzling fall colors, big leaf and vine maples, and you can watch the show.
When the females flip on their side and start to fin in the way that they do, you can see that it almost looks like a water fountain starts to come up out of the river. And then the male fish will come in and they'll compete to be able to spawn. It's nature's drama at its finest.
All of this is waiting for you to visit anytime.
Hard for people to grasp that this is a wildlife area. And yes, it is our backyard too. It's part of that whole idea of nature wild in the city or right next door to the city that I just love so much.
People think that if you live in a city like Portland, that you're leaving nature behind. But with Oxbow here, it shows that we actually can have both. It's nice to see a place that's all wild like this. Yeah.
If you like to play in the great outdoors, consider working just a bit. Try out Metro's Nature University. It's a 12-week class. It begins in January, ends in April, and it'll teach you how to become a volunteer park naturalist. We've got all the details on the Travel Oregon website. And when it comes to salmon spawning and enjoying that view, consider some polarized sunglasses. They make a real big difference in reducing the glare off the water so you can see all the action. You can find all the details, directions, and the contact information for this week's segment on the Travel Oregon website. So until next week, get out here and explore the great Oregon outdoors and let Travel Oregon be your guide. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McComey.